So first, I'm excited to introduce Jen Lewis. Jen is the founder and executive director of Purse and Clutch, a certified B Corp that creates living wage, sustainable employment for global artisans with limited opportunities. Starting from the raw materials and ending with you carrying the most beautiful bag in the room. This year, Jen has launched a new ethical manufacturing course from sketch to product, where she walks product-based businesses through ethical manufacturing courses and finding the right artisan partners and setting up their first purchase order. She has a degree in chemistry, a master's degree in leadership and ethics, and enjoys vegetable gardening from seeds with her 2 young daughters, despite mixed results. Hi, Jen. So let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. What are some of your go-to tools or apps for managing time and boosting productivity?
So my biggest one is the most simple, which is Google Calendar. And I have different, different calendar blocks that I live by. But in conjunction with that would be Calendly, where it can schedule meetings for you. And so I know that I've got maybe 3 different kinds of meetings in general that people will try to schedule with me. And with Calendly, you can kind of set different availabilities. So that's where I can go back to saying, okay, on Wednesdays, I can take kind of more chit chat meetings. So then those can only be scheduled on Wednesdays. And so you can be really thoughtful about really using that almost as a personal assistant for scheduling those meetings. It's all of mine are like very low tech, like accountability groups. Like we talked about this, like find a few other entrepreneurs who get it and meet at the end of each month and come up with your goals for the next month together, which is lovely. And then you can say, here's how it went. And I feel like that goes well. Time tracking, I literally do that on an Excel spreadsheet. It's nothing fancy. And I find sometimes when you get too fancy with apps, you're spending all your time trying to figure out the app. And I find that sometimes just the most simple version doesn't suck up more of my time, ironically. And then the last kind of framework that I'll share that I found to be really helpful is something that my business coach, which I would also recommend a business coach, hands down, that has been a huge game changer for me in terms of being able to actually scale and not just get stuck in the hustle. She would recommend it. She calls it the 4 Ds. And so it's do, delegate, defer, and delete. And so when I have all these lists of things, what is the stuff that only I can do? It's urgent, it's high ticket value, like that's what I need to keep on my plate. If it's urgent but a lower ticket value, like that's what I'm gonna delegate. If it's not urgent but high ticket, then I'm gonna defer that and I'm gonna give it a time. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do this in Q1 of 2025 so that it is off my brain. And then really like judiciously deleting things. And I try to make sure that I'm deleting things based on profitability. I think it's too easy to find other things to like, oh, I don't really like doing this, or what can I delete? But I really look at the numbers. So for example, I do a lot, or used to do a lot of in-person markets and sales, and they actually generated a lot of sales for us. And I thought, we're getting lots of people on our newsletter, we're connecting one-on-one, this is amazing. But actually, when I ran the numbers, it was one of the least profitable things because it took so much of my time. It was like 2 or 3 days ahead of time, the prepping, the paying employees. So we just cold turkey stopped doing markets a couple years ago, which was terrifying because the sales freaked me out. But when I could look at the bottom line numbers and say, you know what, this profit, this is not worth the time. And so it really allowed me to free up the time and energy to pursue the custom branding that we've been doing and to create this ethical manufacturing course that I was able to put together, that I'm able to reach so many more people and have so much of a bigger impact. And it's so much more profitable because of that.
That is, that's huge, right? Like running the numbers and seeing that one of the things that feels most profitable actually isn't, is like, what? Like, I feel like my jaw would be on the floor because So I just really want to thank Luis. I want to thank Jen for coming and sharing so many great tips, their expertise. We hope you all feel a little bit more prepared with some of the tips, tricks, tools, and just mindset shifts to like bring in this time management into the new year. Also, if your question didn't get answered, please don't worry. We are going to be sending out links and resources tomorrow. And I really encourage you to schedule one of those free coaching sessions, because that is really going to be extremely personalized and we can get into the nitty-gritty details of your business. So thank you all for joining, and thank you again to Jen and Luis, and we will all see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.